What is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. And I am one of your hosts, Crashtag. Sorry, somebody put a question mark on the teleprompter. I'm Crashtag. That's StaticGorilla. And that's Mezza. Somebody. Everything here is just going to be a question today. Yo, what's going on, fellas?
I'm chilling.
Good.
You know, running from chainsaw dudes.
Long weekend.
It's long weekend. A lot of chainsaws. This is going on. The skit is going on way too long. Welcome to Double Tap. This is a podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. For those that are new, thank you very much for getting swindled into listening to us this week. And for those that are returning, to giving us an extra 2 quarters for another credit, thank you very much. We got plenty to talk about this week. We've had a pretty awesome weekend of some great matches, some interesting news over the past week when it comes to our dear fighting game community. So we're going to be jumping right into it. But in the meantime, as well, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to follow us at DoubleTapFGC on Twitter. If you haven't already followed the accounts, when we tweet out when we go live, when we do special events, because we did the ARC World Tour co-streaming this weekend. We were one of the official co-streamers. We posted that up. So if you want to get all the news, things like that, or you want to tag us on anything you guys want us to check out, feel it's newsworthy or something you want us to at least get some eyes on, feel free to tag us. Once again, that is at DoubleTapFGC. You can show us some love there. All right, guys, so we are going to jump right into it. We got plenty to talk about here in the Fighters Corner. We got a really awesome folks attack to get into as well. So let's get into it. Yeah, Gabe, you were all on Capcom this weekend, huh? Playing some of their other games, their other properties that may or may not be funding the Street Fighter Capcom Cup for next year, right?
Are you trying to say that I'm not a Capcom enthusiast? No,
you are a Capcom enthusiast. He was rocking out like crazy on. The reason I'm bringing up Capcom's other IPs because we had the Capcom Spotlight last week. It was on the 9th, I believe. That was like Thursday.
I mistimed it.
What you mean?
I did rewatch it, and I watched it on like 2 times speed, but I mistimed it. Like I thought it was. I'm like, yeah, I'm playing some. I think I was playing like Pokemon, and I'm like, did I miss it? I think I missed it, y'all.
No,
like,
I'm pretty sure you were playing because it was on a Wednesday, wasn't it? No, it was on Thursday. It was on Thursday.
9th was a Thursday. Yeah.
You were in TNS, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think you were playing.
No. TNS was Friday. I was
Friday, but I thought you were doing something else.
I usually get ready for the lab, but the lab was closed because people felt sick. So I just took, I was already not going, taking precaution because someone in my family was sick. So I was like, you know what? Let me just not go. So I hit up Hammer Blood and I said, let's not do that. So again, I was busy, but I did end up catching it, and it was a surprise, wasn't there?
Yeah, like we actually covered it. We told everybody about it in last week's episode. It was going down, but the thing about it is that they were listing, right? They were like, hey, Resident Evil 4, not Dino Crisis, but it's really Dino Crisis, Monster Hunter, all these other games. But Street Fighter 6 was just not there. And I think even last week it was either one of y'all, it might have been you, Mezza, was like, yo, we don't even know Street Fighter's gonna be there, or like I don't think it's gonna show up. But fuck it, we did it anyway. Who actually trusts these developers as to what they say? I've had trust issues ever since Ed Boon has done some stuff. And yeah, I was right. I was happy to not trust them, because guess what? We did actually get a Capcom trailer that came through, or a new Street Fighter 6 trailer that came through. This one's giving us our final commentary in Hikaru Takahashi on the Japanese side. I think she's supposed to be color commentary, but that's just one aspect. That's the final commentary that we're getting for the game. But we've already gotten the base roster. We already know who's going to be the base roster here. But the cool thing is we got some additional gameplay. Cammy White was shown off playing against Lily. We got to see also kind of like the dream match that a lot of us have been waiting on with Zangief and Marissa. That one was awesome to watch, but let's focus down a little bit on the Cammy and Lily, because there was a couple little things here and there we got to see that we haven't seen in their trailers before. I don't know if you guys happen to snipe something out, but I want to bring your attention here. So we actually got to see some of the drive impact animations for both Lily and for Cammy. Cammy's was a little bit wilder. Lily's, I think, was pretty far reaching, but yeah, those clubs go full extent. But we got to see a little bit, like I said, of Cammy. Her Drive Rush, bro. I have to stop saying that. Like Dragon Ball has really messed me up there. Yeah, we got to see her Drive Impact, and Cammy's Drive Impact was what got me a little scared at first, because when I saw it, I forgot Drive Impact is 2 hits of armor, 2 dose. You need to hit it 3 times in order to break it, right? But she does kind of like a more
like her spinning back knuckle.
It's yeah, basically that's what I was thinking. Like it's like her spinning back knuckle is what I'm seeing here, but it seemed to have lunged her forward, but because of the interaction with Lily's, what's that move called again? The T-Hawk joint. Condor Spire, like the horizontal one, it like was pushing her away, like it wasn't letting her advance, so it was like kind of weird. I had to like do a double take there, but we actually got an animation now for it, which is cool. So I think it looks like it's gonna cover a solid distance too.
I really like. I like seeing Crouch Fierce again from Cammy. I was just like, whoa, familiarity. They made it look different, but not awkward. I like it.
Crouching forward as well.
Yeah. This is what I want. I want gameplay. Go ahead.
I think they put a lot more time into Cammy this time around, like even from her animations to when she's exhausted and stuff like that. Like I actually, as a Cammy, like I don't even know what you want to say.
Former main.
Connoisseur, like former main. I really like what they've done with her. She looks like she's more fleshed out as a character. She doesn't feel, I guess, as basic. Like she has a basic game style of play, like gameplay style, but now she seems like she has a little bit more intricacy to her that makes her like even more interesting than before. Because now I like the moveset. I'm just like, oh man, I see a lot of Street Fighter 4. I see a lot of Street Fighter 5, but I see like some things that were in Street Fighter 5 that were locked behind systems are now free to be used. Right, so she has her spiral cannon, but it's not the EX version, but it's the V trigger version. So I thought that was really cool to just see as a normal move. Like it's almost like she just upgraded. They just gave her as a normals. Her grab is the most amazing thing.
Yeah, like I've said it plenty of times before. I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but I mean the biggest thing that I've taken away from Street Fighter 6 that a lot of people I think agree on is like these characters, they feel whole. Like Street Fighter 5 had that issue where a character didn't seem to have all their options until the V trigger got popped, right? Until that prerequisite was checked off, these characters just didn't feel like they could do what their game plan was meant to do. Like some of them did still, you know, some of them could do them with or without, right? Not to say V trigger dictated everything, but it was a big component to knowing if a character was going to be good in all situations, right? Because if you don't have a high V trigger that you needed, like a V trigger that had high value, that means, you know, V reversals were more apparent, V shifts were more available to you. You didn't have to sacrifice maybe that component of your gameplay. In Street Fighter 6, all these characters they're whole. Like they just have their tools to do their gameplay, and then the universal mechanics that everyone has. It's the same to everyone. The rules apply to everybody. You know, minus the frame data. That's going to be the only part that's going to be a little different. You know, are the same, so you can all kind of expand on the same playing field, right? We're all on the same playing field when it comes to that. And yeah, Cammy feels definitely like an evolution for sure. You know, everything about her character, right? Her design, you know, she's wearing pants, right? Big shocker, PSA to everybody. She's wearing pants. Is already a start. Short hair, but the cool thing is even her jacket still like has little belt things that are hanging around. Like if you look at her and her kind of like almost like a silhouette, like it looks like her initial hair still, like her little ponytails are still there. Like it hasn't really gone away, but it's still like there, right? They're still giving love to that OG costume, which by the way, we're still gonna get anyway. We've seen the leaked footage long ago, and trust the cheeks are there. The cheeks are still gonna be there. Y'all gonna be happy. Don't worry. It's just Capcom's waiting. They just knew we're gonna leave this girl for last. We know what it is. We know who's gonna be enjoying it. We're gonna give her the stretch and everything. We know what we're doing.
Listen, if they leave it for last, the less likelihood of them changing it. Of people being like, "Oh yeah, don't change it. Don't change it. It's almost out. It's almost coming." But at least, I mean, so there was something else that I saw in this trailer. Oh, and Mezza, you talked about how simplistic she can be. Like Street Fighter 2, she wasn't that good. All she had was a spiral arrow, somewhat of a spinning back knuckle, and
hooligan
cannon spike. Yeah, hooligan. Yeah, and it's sort of like, all right, I can just.
She didn't even have the dive kick.
No dive kick, but she had the hooligan.
She did?
No dive kick, but she had the hooligan.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, not the dive kick. She had the grab. It was just a command grab. Oh, and the slide and a slid. So yeah,
it's weird. I don't play her in Turbo. I play Guile. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, Gal's pretty cheap. You got to reverse. You shouldn't play her here. Just play Gal in this game. But one thing to round out actually Cammy though is the follow-up tweet, because everyone was tripping out about her hooligan throw for good reason, because we got to see a semblance of some of the new that she's bringing in, right? And that is actually, like we said, her hooligan throw. We got a little bit of a kind of a showcase here. We started noticing, like, doing it off vanilla, like nothing crazy, right? It just looks like your typical hooligan throw. Yep, she grips you, throws you, leg day. No, don't miss it. Core. But then we see like another version of it. Maybe it was heavy, right? Maybe heavy, light, and medium will have different aspects to it. No, not the case. You can charge the hooligan throw now, which I always thought, funny enough, that actually hooligan throw is probably my favorite move from Cammy's. I've always liked it, maybe because that's the closest I get to almost like making her a stance character, where I have an option, right? Depending on the button you press, you have a certain action, right? We've established that's like my thing apparently in fighting games is stance characters. So I like options, baby. I like to press A, B, or C. RPS. Let's go. Maybe that's why I also play biking. Who knows?
Do you block?
Did you block? No? Yes? Okay. I go through a flow chart. But yeah,
she can. If you block.
Oh, did I block? I never block.
Why would he block if he has all these RPS?
Yeah. Why would I block? I have
He's
health.
guessing for his life anyway. So.
Yeah. Fuck it. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna die. Oh, shocker. If I don't block, I might still die. Yeah, but we got to see that hooligan throw has some new, has some new options to it when it comes to charging it, where you can actually follow up and get more out of it. So including into a spiral arrow into super. And we've already seen that she can then link super to other, to other supers and such. So they're expanding the roster. Like it's not really a surprise, because we already saw that with the base roster from what we've gotten with the beta. And in that roster, we only got Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Jury, I guess is now legacy, right? Who are the other base characters were there that we got? Guile. And that's it, right? The rest was Jamie, Luke, Kimberly.
Are we talking about like that's base new?
What that we got in? Yeah, like that we've got in the beta, right? That I think that's.
Oh, that we got in the beta. Yeah, we only had Chun-Li,
Ryu, Ken, and Jury.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, right? And even then, their kits are a combination of what we've seen previously, and with some, a little bit of nuances to it, right? Ken has his that overhead kick of his that you can charge up. You can be plus, and his Oki starts. What's up?
Isn't Luke part of that original cast now?
I don't know.
Or he needs one more.
No. He was around for 0.15 of a game. He's not a legacy character, all right? He was meant for this game. They brought him to 5 to buy some time. We know where he was supposed to be showing off at. He is not a legacy character. I don't care what anyone says. Luke is not a legacy character. He is still new blood.
2 full games. You need to be.
Yeah. Give me at least 2 full games. That's why Jury makes a cut, because it was 4, right? 4 and 5. She's been in. Luke has only been in technically in 1.
No, it's fine. She was there for like the early DLC though.
Yeah, she was like season 2, right?
She wasn't the last season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Was she season 1? Yeah, she was in the story mode.
Yeah, she was
okay. 1. Yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, so Cammy's looking really good, and like I said, we actually did get some gameplay with Geef and Marissa. Something we were wondering for a while. Geef coming out the gate with the drive impact. Oh my god.
Oh no, we did talk about this actually.
I do remember. No, we talked about Geef in general. We talked about Geef in general because we saw his lariat. This came out after last week's show. We definitely didn't cover this.
Oh, this is
still the Capcom spotlight. Yes. So we got to see. Geef and Marissa. We got to see the clap with the drive impact. We got to see kind of like also the insane amount of recovery his command grab has. This is specifically like EX too, like to boot, right? Like I would assume EX has even more recovery, but like peep this out, right? We go with the neutral. Look at God damn that whiff.
I think it's good though, because right, if command grab characters are gonna be extra strong in this game, with the way the frame data looks and everything else, I think it's good for them to have recovery. I mean, any game that plays like Street Fighter or close to it should have an innumerous amount of recovery on moves, because it makes it fair for punishing, right? So that's the biggest thing.
So I just want to make a couple notes here just from looking at it. Like the amount that it pushes him forward though is kind of wild. Because he was like a fair distance away, and so this feels more like it's actually bear grab, like EX bear grab. than it is standard SPD. Because historically it was Bear Grab that lets him move forward, right? He usually gets a piece of armor or something like that, and he gets to move forward. That's the trade, right, for using those resources. This is standard SPD or EX SPD.
Yes.
Solid, but EX Bear Grab, I believe, is what we see at about I think it's like 48 seconds or 50 seconds.
They showed EX Lariat has 2 hits, which is oof. Try to drive impact that, huh?
Mm-hmm. Look at
that. It's what, 3 hits, right? So.
It's 3 hits, so actually it would
crouch jab.
Yeah, exactly. A jab into that, like if the startup is high enough or fast enough, it could work out. And then we actually got to see Marissa's follow-up, or still not even completely. We got to see, for a minute, we're like, oh, she punches you, gets a guaranteed corner carry, and we know there's a follow-up for the critical art. We just don't know what it was, but apparently when she does duff you in the face, she, besides getting flashbanged, ow, my eyes, you get a nice little heart over your character's face. It's all tough love is what we're trying to say out here. So yeah, that's that. Those is a little sprinklings. Like they're not gonna give us too much more. The closer we get to the game, though, once again, it's happening June 2nd. It's like 2 months away, like under 2 months, or excuse me, under 3 months. It's like 2 months and 3 weeks or something like that. It's around the corner, man. I think with the base roster that we got, the game's looking good. The DLC, which we already know who's DLC, it's just a matter of who's getting released when. To be honest, you can do a quick Google search and find out the entire sheet. That was like months and months ago. But for the base roster, I think we have a really good variety of characters to kind of bring in a lot of the OG. I mean, they have the original 8. I don't know if you caught that little Easter egg where the original 8 from Street Fighter 2 are all blocked together in the bottom of the screen. I was like, oh, my heart. Like, I was like, there was just a semblance of just like, I felt home. All I could think about are pizza parlors and malls and seeing that cab and seeing that character select screen. Oh, this really is a love letter to Street Fighter 2, but at the same time, it's an evolution of it, and I'm super stoked for it. I don't know about you guys, but who are you? I just want to know from our listeners, who are you guys most stoked to play now that the base roster is out? Who are you looking to play? Are there any legacy characters that you feel like they've done enough to give it a new coat of paint that you'll try now, that you've never tried before, or are you just gonna go all for the new? Let us know, of course. So before we jump into our next subject, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna get some quarters. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay. I thought he stood up.
Gonna black out.
I thought he stood up and he was changing his shirt. I was like, no, Gabe, no. Don't do it.
I thought I had a minute.
No, don't do
Honestly,
it. Honestly,
I thought his eye was in it. I was like, what are you doing, Gabe?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to block it. I should just next time just
trying to get right. There you go. He was trying to get a boogie out. All right, so with one game that we're expecting this year, let's move on to one that's we're not expecting this year, but we're sure as hell hyped for. Tekken 8. Tekken 8 has Bandai Namco has dropped us some new footage from the boy Paul, aka Phoenix, aka check out my new hairdo. Has dropped. It's about, I think it's like 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes of some gameplay there. Really about like a minute 30. But we got to see the intro. This man is not only funding the bricklayers around the world like crazy, he is also destroying their jobs, because he just gotta have a brick wall to punch through, man. It just has to be his thing.
Can I ask real quick, do you guys feel like his hair being the way it is now is like cooler, or do you feel like it just kind of takes away from Paul?
It just it feels weird because it's Paul. It's like Guile. You're used to that style of hair. If they would have done this to Guile, we all would have been like, what the fuck is this? I mean, I kind of feel the same way about Paul, but things change. Things change. Yeah, things change. It's still Paul. Like everything else about him is still him.
Maybe it's a graphical error. They just couldn't stand it up, and it just kept falling over. So it's just like, man, you know what? But it still has his sort of alternate outfit from Tekken 3 and 4 and Tekken Tag.
And Tag,
1. So like, I'm still a fan of it because it's not too far from the full leather outfit, and he's wearing some red.
And plus, you know they're gonna have a classic hairstyle, like modification and such. Like, so I'm not stressing it. It could be the default. Just because it's the default doesn't mean it's the one you gotta pick. But everything else about him looks good.
Did I mention he also punched?
Punch. Yo, so Paul. So in this like 2 minute or minute 30 exhibition of his movesets, we got to look at some new strings here, some new like heat strings as well, some guard breaks, bro. Like I when I saw the guard break to actually the transition, I was like, oh my god, this is like brutal. But like, yeah, there was a couple of heat strings in here. We got to show off a couple of new strings. I think we got like a Magic 4 somewhere in there. The follow this string right here at 118, the heat follow up. The sway heat like follow up to then suplex. Like, son, if they gave Paul a suplex, I know King's about to fuck motherfuckers up in this. Like, holy shit! But this shit was stylish.
It's very interesting because we were asking how the game system was going to be in a. I'm gonna be honest, they left a lot of Tekken 7 stuff in there, so you get like the ground bouncing and stuff like that off of certain moves. But it seems like they've added that new heat system as well. Has added an additional layer to it. And with a lot of these stagger moves, it feels like, or like pushback moves, it feels like everything is kind of fresh. I wouldn't even say it's like kind of rinse repeat, because it does look fresh, it does feel fresh from just looking at it, right? So I'm not even talking about from a graphical standpoint. I'm talking about from just the way they're fighting. I just hope they don't get rid of the core thing of Tekken, which has always been around, which is the movement, right? That's something they didn't mean to have happen, but players kind of created that situation, kind of like Smash, how they have wave dashing. I hope they don't see that as a barrier for new players, because a lot of people play Tekken. Everybody knows Tekken from what I know. So
it's gonna be such a renaissance for fighting. Like this, like you said, there's aspects here in Tekken 7 they're pulling in. There's actually some things I'm still wondering about looking at the trailer. I think I saw like a sidestep to Death Fist still happen, which is like, I was like, hold up.
He's always had something like that.
No, but like I'm surprised it hit, like, because it looked like Law, like, or like martial law, like stepped first or had already stepped mid, and it like somehow the Death Fist still hits. I was kind of like blinking a little bit, like, huh. But yeah, like a lot of the gameplay itself is what's getting to me, man. It's fast. It's definitely has some Tekken 7 in it. The heat system I'm starting to really warm up to, no pun intended there. But it's starting to like really, like, it's starting to intrigue me more. And just like watching it, once again, like Tekken has always been that game for me that I could just watch. Like, I don't have to know everything about it, but I could watch it and be hype. And this trailer got me hype. Like I said, Suplex City and all. And the fucking coup de grace of the whole fucking thing was this at fucking 1:30 when you actually got to see his super art, is what got to me. And it wasn't even so much like, yes, it's like an overblown Death Fist. Yes, I get that. But it's what he does on the way to the overblown Death Fist. If YouTube would play nicely with me for a second, like, this shit could not already be over the top until he hit him with this. Oh god, the sleeve bust out with the, oh my lord, like that. Somebody was like, yo, we got to do this. Like if we're gonna give him this, like, and I guarantee you do this in first round, like his sleeve stays off, right?
See, like, because I was gonna say that's what would make it pretty interesting. If they kept the effects, and it seems like they are, because like I'm just gonna mention this real quick. If you ever notice them doing like a 1, 2, 3 into a combo that maybe launches or is gonna apply a ground effect, with a like ground bounce or something like that, you can see the wind come off. I hope they added that for all the characters, because then that's an indication of this is that type of combo, right? So because before you used to see the impact of the hit, but everything in this game seems to have more impact, so they have to visually show you that there's something else there. But I mean, it may just be Paul, because Paul punches like sonic speed, I guess, and breaks the wind pressure or whatever.
He is the strongest in the universe, Mezza. He says it before he punches you to let you know he is the strongest in the universe, bro. But this overall trailer was sick. It got me hyped, man. Like, it's so tough because I love my Strive. I'm enjoying Street Fighter 6. spoilers, MK12 obviously has been announced, or rather it's been leaked. You know, Tekken 8, there's so many good fucking games that are be coming out within this next year. Like this year alone, we're expecting 3. Yeah. This Tekken 8 is the only one that's going to be like last to it, but I mean, like it's coming out fucking strong.
Well, before I go into that, I'll just say they also did a phenomenal job showcasing some of the stages and the.
Oh yeah, that was a new stage, by the way. That was a new stage.
Yeah, the details look phenomenal for what they're doing, and then we did talk about it. The stages do seem like they're still a little big, so I guess to give room for the new mechanic.
Yeah,
but I am kind of curious because, like you said, we have like 3 new games coming along. I mean, right now we know Street Fighter is gonna be the biggest, right?
Yeah, that one's looming right now. It's the first one out the gates, coming out with incredible support. Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
And then you have Riot Games Project L coming down the whenever
TBD whenever, yeah.
But that's really big, right? We see the changing of how the scope of games are supposed to be. Now you have Tekken 8, which is just as big.
Oh my god, yeah.
Gonna break some ground for sure. So you got 3 big staple games. If you really
and remember MK12 still.
Well, I won't say anything until we see anything because I don't want to see a rinse repeat. And if we see a rinse repeat, and they haven't done that too often, but and I even give it to them. MK11 looked really, really good. Like the graphics, everything. I just want to see if they can hang with everybody else, right? They've had time. Can they put up the same performance that everybody else is putting up? And what do you bring to the table that might be fairly new, other than a system mechanic?
Yeah, we'll have to see about that.
I'm gonna reserve my thoughts.
Yeah. Thoughts are reserved still on MK12. Right. Yeah. That's also a big thing. But yeah, Tekken 8's looking hot. Paul looks dope. I can't wait to see what others. Maybe they'll do martial law next. Because they did Jin, they did Kazuya, they've done Paul. Nina, she got like her announcement trailer. Her announcement trailer was like kind of like that, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna still give it to her.
So martial law, we're still missing martial law and June, right? Those are the 2 characters that we know that are still that are confirmed, that we just have.
And Jack.
Oh, and Jack. Yes, and Jack.
Did King get his?
And King, damn, you're right. And
King didn't get his.
No, King just got a little bit of a spot. That's it. Yeah. So we still have like about four characters or so they can throw some gameplay out there for, which would really sick. Kind of see how the heat system affects those different archetypes of characters. Right now, it's been pretty straightforward. But if it's gonna be as the presentation, if it's gonna be like how Paul's is, man, I'm gonna be so fucking hype. You have no idea. You're gonna think Tasty Steve just ain't hype compared to how hype I'm gonna be.
I've heard you be hype.
A lot of people have heard me be hype. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway.
No, Tasty. Oh my
god. I don't know. Groundbreaking, guys. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Keep your arms to yourselves.
Keep your arms to yourself. Yeah. Keep your arms to yourself. Anyway. All right. So with that, that's really all the game updates we have here that have come out. I know we haven't talked Guilty or DNF. We're holding that off for our folks to tag. We have AWT to talk there. So let's just jump into the randoms. With that, we do have something. It's a little out of left field. It's hence why it's in randoms, right? In randoms of the FGC. So Scream 6, which blows my mind that we're at Scream 6 right now. I remember when Scream 1 came out. I'm old.
Is it technically Scream 6? Didn't they have
in
between
no,
stuff?
No, there's a TV show. That's about it. But it's Scream 6.
Oh, okay.
It is theatrically Scream 6. So an artist, several artists have gotten together, but DLIU, also known as Angry D on Twitter, took to Twitter to post up about an edit or an animation they've been working on with a couple other artists. But also, funny enough, I was following this artist before, but they took to Twitter and actually did like a Scream 6 promotional animation to go along with the release that happened over the weekend, which I heard was really good. But this animation was dope, and then they were like, listen, this edit's been in my mind. I needed to put it out there. For those that are OG Street Fighter 2 animated movie, like, watchers and lovers, like, the Chun-Li Vega scene was very much an influence in this style. You can definitely tell it's there.
Just
and
from
he
the start.
even went by adding the song from the English dub into it, and it sounds fire. Was it KDM Ultra or something like that? I think it's like what it's called. But this was like, bro, this is just woo. It's raw. Nothing like FGC, inspired cats to come up with some really, really dope stuff out there.
I think it would have been cool if they got contacted in the future by different companies to start doing
Yeah.
stuff like this, because this
Hell
is
yeah.
really
This is fire.
This is what you say. This is what you would say is like it's a fan project, which is really cool. I would love to see them talk with like the creators of Scream and possibly get like an ability to do the rights to make like maybe a YouTube series, right? You know, just like a 15-minute YouTube series.
Yeah, just
like
do
maybe
little
10
shorts
episodes.
and such, like stories and such.
Yeah, like it would be really cool. And I love that these guys do this stuff. I know, I'm pretty sure it takes hella long.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
time, like
yeah, this-
months on months, right? Just to set something like this up. And they'd really be probably good at it. But I wouldn't be kind of surprised if we maybe see something like an FGC, you know, full on like
Project like
story, right? You know, like they pull top players and they kind of design them to be like kind of like this story, right? A nice story driven, you know, uprising, becoming
like,
a champion, right?
Like a one shot or something. Yeah, it would be would be pretty
they're
dope.
just becoming like someone becoming the champion, being surrounded. Like if you ever watch the League of Legends,
Oh yeah, they
world
got like
videos,
they got their
those are
world
amazing.
intros and such. Yeah, those
Yeah,
jokes are
right. They
pretty
have all
fire.
the characters, but they got this random one person that's like, I want to be that guy, right? So
Sorry about
I
that.
think that'd be cool if they
For sure.
if they did something like that.
For sure, but no, I wanted to give shout outs to that because I saw that and I kind of saw the similarities, and then they actually posted up like, yo, yeah, like there was inspiration there, and I could see it. And we say it every year, man. She threw a whole fucking. I think it's honestly was one of the first. I thought I saw somebody. Oh, there we go. She didn't throw the couch at him. There we go. Here's your little animation underneath.
Okay,
your
I
little
mean
gift.
that
Like,
girl was pretty small. She was not throwing. No
I
touch
know,
at him.
I know. But you know what?
But hey, she threw the pillow.
Damn, that was a pretty good. That was a pretty good
She's
loop.
not-
That kind of threw me off.
She's not the strongest woman in the world, though.
She is not. She is not the strongest, but it was still a dope ass animation regardless. So shout outs once again to Angry D and everyone else that did work on that animation. Go check out Scream 6, not sponsored. What else? Oh yeah, so we had something planned this week. We did have a guest lined up. It's just unfortunate with the coverage we have going on right here, just was not going to fit in. The episode would be a little too tight, and we don't want to kind of rush, especially because I want this guest on. I want to get their insight. They are an awesome community member. They do incredible work. They've been on TV for fighting games. They've been commentary at the highest level. And overall, is a really, really good guy. We're going to have them on. But in the meantime, though, one thing I do want to put out there is this person, like I said, does a lot of awesome community work, including running events for Mortal Kombat, NRS themed games, and for multiverses. Of course, we are talking about Darth Arma, aka Dad Arma, who does run MKNJ up north over at the Helix Esports Center on North Bergen, New Jersey. I swear New Jersey always has like spots that I swear don't exist, but then they do when someone tells me the city's a thing. Like, I don't know how long it took for me to realize Hoboken was really an actual city in New
it's
Jersey.
right across.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's just a meme, dog. That real. And I was like,
What
no,
do you mean, Cake
no,
Boss?
it's I didn't know. Listen, geography is like the second worst taught like subject in the world. All right.
It's true. We do the 50 states and then we're done.
Yeah, like
That's like really true.
it actually is true. That's actually a real statistic.
To you,
But yeah,
to you, it don't exist unless you've been there.
exactly, basically. Unless I've stood my foot on there, it don't exist. But once again, MKNJ is actually happening this weekend coming up, March 18th. It's 2 days. One day is set for NRS games. So we've got MK11 and Injustice 2. They're supporting that. Doors are open at 12 o'clock. You guys, also, it's going to be online. You're going to see the tapes. It's going to be on Combat Network. No stranger there. If you're definitely in the NRS scene or have seen any NRS games, chances are you've seen that their page or their Twitch page go live. They do plenty of tournaments. No strangers to it. You guys can pre-register right now. Start.gg/MKNJ17. And of course, on Sunday, this is also a really cool thing. Not only does he support, obviously, his community as much as he can, but multiverses. I cannot think of really that many, if any, like in-person multiverses events that are like just consistently ran in the community wise, like, you know, even on a small level. Like, so this is one of the few. This is one of the few diamonds in the rough that are doing it. I've always seen multiverses. It was built up for online, right? So to see it offline, this is like their third one they're doing. They're doing this on Sunday. It's at the same venue. It's at Helix Esports Center. So you guys can go and register on that. That is start.gg/MVSNJ3. They start casuals at 12 o'clock. The 1v1 pools start at 1 p.m. and they do support also team-based 2v2. That'll happen at 3 o'clock. So go support that. Go support the homie Darth Arma and everyone there in the MKNJ crew that do work, Combat Network, everyone else. Also, BH and Hands MVS. That's the Twitch page for the multiverses. But go check out Darth Arma also on Twitter. He posts all this stuff up. Keep up to date on it. But we will have him in. Shout out to you, homie. We appreciate it. Thank you for the patience. I know we were, like I said, we were trying to get him in today, but we kind of have a bit of a packed episode. So we want to give anyone that gets brought on here, we want to give them the time, because I really want to talk NRS games with him. I really want to talk multiverses and kind of pick his brain about a lot of things. But in the meantime, go support. If you're in the area, if you want to go check it out online, go support the homie. Go check it out. Once again, start.gg/MKNJ17 and MVSNJ3 on start.gg. Go check that out. Go pre-register or go check out the Twitch page. It all helps a whole lot. So with that, Static, you're a fan of Marvel, right?
Yes.
Yes. You're pretty about it. Not only just like Marvel 3, which you compete every Friday. By the way, StaticGorilla on Twitch and Twitter. Make sure to go follow him for that. But you also, you got a legacy in it. You've been playing fighting games for a while. You like MVC2, right? I think I've seen you play MVC2. Would you?
Yeah, I've got 15 and 0.
Yeah, 15 and 0. Yeah. Hey, but you still, you made it all the way to the 15. Some people would have quit after like 5.
I never quit in that game.
Good man, as you should. Would you be willing to give up a part of your body for Marvel?
Oh my god. Wow.
I'll take that as a yes. I'll take that as a yes. I think that's a yes. He would do it. No. I don't know if he'll do this, however, but
this looks all right. I'm a huge fan of ink like that, because it's like you're using a human canvas to do such works. This looks clean.
Absolutely.
Like it. I think like it reminds me of the one artist who was on Ink Master, who does these type of like what they call new school sort of tattoos. And this has been like, I think Shuma is the perfect way to use it. Everything ends and begins with Shuma. That's cool. Everything begins and ends with Shuma. I can't read it.
With Shuma Gorath, yes.
Yeah, Shuma Gorath.
One glaring issue though, and unfortunately, I mean, I'm sure it's the Surfbot does not have the positive contact point on his head or on their head. No, that's what's throwing me off. Fuck no, like he does need it. He does. It looks.
Had it taken away.
It looks strange. Look at this. This is what it's supposed to look like.
I know.
Yeah,
they just couldn't do it because of the.
I don't know.
I can't say that.
Like
you can think it's Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah, right. He's in danger. All that stuff.
Maybe it popped off because he's so scared.
Maybe, I don't know. But like with those drawings around it, it seems like it wasn't included. But hey, it's a human canvas, right? Static, you could just go right back over it.
Oh,
it'll be a longer session. On your leg though. That's the thing.
Dude, that's huge.
I think that's the best place. Maybe. I mean, you don't want it on your torso, right?
Nah, you want to show it off.
But man, look at the man. I really like this tattoo. Except for the Surfbot, it can go. But yeah, you can see the depth.
Would you how much money would it take for me to get you to tattoo your Marvel team on your body?
None.
Marvel 3.
He's like, that team is not worth.
I would not.
I would. Would I give you if I gave you $50,000? Would you put Super Skrull, Sentinel, and Nova on your body?
What if you had to just choose one?
Okay, hold on. We went from no to it needs a lot more. 100,000
more,
bro.
Damn, really? You still gotta pay for it. Keep.
I give you $250,000, $250,000.
Next topic.
Okay, I think we got a number, boys. We got a number. We got a number.
100,000. Sure.
We got a number.
My team sucks, so it's all good.
Don't worry. I'm plotting.
Soccer, Ruby Heart, and Rogue. Yeah, that's a great team. Yeah. But as we Evo Sakura or Shadow Sakura, Dark
Sunburned Sakura.
Yeah.
Sunburned Sakura. That's
the other day I was able to manage to get Sakura taunt into Raging Demon in the corner.
Ooh.
It actually works. So if you have to taunt, cancel it in the corner, and we tried to jump out, it worked. So I'm just saying.
Okay. So you're trying to say you're nice. Got it.
That's
No,
what I got
not
from
at all.
that.
All right, right.
Not at all.
I got that from that.
All right, so remember, guys, about like $250,000, we're gonna start a donation drive to get Static G tattoo. Anyway,
Confirming that.
Anyway, so guys, we will take a quick second as we go over the paperwork the Static G has to sign for this tattoo real fast. But when we come back, we're talking AWT 2022. Got some DNF, got some Guilty Gear, got some DLC to talk about, amongst other things. But we'll be right back after this. All right, we're back. Static has initialed. He is in for it. We just need to get the funding. I will be looking for venture capitalists to make this happen, and we'll make a video out of it. So, yes. Nova Sentinel Scroll is happening, and he has to get like the entire Nova Sentinel force like on him, like as if he's doing the assist, and it's like 3 little baby Sentinels too. Like he's gonna do that. Like we haven't talked about where he's gonna put it though. Yeah. So AWT.
Y'all hear something?
AWT happened this weekend. We got to stream it. It was awesome. It was like, unfortunately, we didn't get to do the DNF dual side of it. We weren't live for that. I had obligations during the day, of course. Hey, that's how it is. Working 9 to 5. But we did get to catch from the rip the Guilty Gear stream as well. So if you want to check out the VOD for that, check it out. Check us out on twitch.tv/smash those buttons, or on our YouTube. It's going to get posted up there too. I'm going to do a slight edit. YouTube is at double tap FGC. Make sure to come subscribe there, guys. We're really close to 100 subscribers. But yes, AWT went down. Let's just start with some DNF. Let's go with the results and what got shown off. So you guys got to watch. I think Mezza, at a minimum, I think you were definitely sitting down and watching. I just honestly could not get a feed at the time, so I didn't get a chance to check it out. But what went down?
So
The top tiers. Did someone come in and slay the tier list that everyone's been throwing out there and just changed everything, flipped the script? Is that what happened?
I mean, realistically, no. We kind of expected
okay.
we expected a lot from some people. So like, we expected Mrs. Smash to come in to like just change the whole landscape. But you know, Vanguard's still not as strong, I guess, and he kind of had a hard bracket. Hitman got taken out early. K-Top just kind of couldn't cut it. I feel like there's some players who showed up ready to play way more than others.
Okay.
Obviously, your winner being Goichi playing. Okay, let me make this very clear to people. People are gonna try to sit here and say Swiftmaster is so godlike. Goichi played him so much. Goichi played him one set, and that was it. Every other game, he was playing Crusader.
I mean, what do you mean, Swiftmaster? He's the only Swiftmaster here in top 8. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
he's the only. But that means Swiftmaster is godlike.
Here's the funny part. He didn't even have to play Swiftmaster because the matchup that he played it into, he could have played Crusader and still would have won. So it's actually a better matchup for Crusader. So, yeah, I mean, Goichi kind of stomped the whole tournament with just primarily Crusader, which is one of the strongest characters as in representation there. Nanopon being Striker, obviously Striker's still top 4 or 5, whatever you want to consider top 3. Still super strong.
Kubo with Grappler though?
Okay, so there's like a strong misconception that Grappler is like super OP. He's not. It's just people don't know the matchup still because there wasn't enough to begin with. And Kubo just is one. It's Kubo.
It's godlike.
Yeah, but 2, you know, a lot of people didn't really study as much as they were supposed to. This character has gotten away with like murder in a lot of situations. But no, he played phenomenal. I think he was honestly getting stopped by Nanopon was probably the harshest matchup because Striker does beat Grappler technically. So there was just like some mistakes here and there. But Yusun Cha, who was kind of like a favorite to win the tournament, alongside like Kubo and Goichi, because Nanopon actually went under the radar, surprisingly weird. But yeah, a lot of people were rooting for Yusun Cha as well as myself. He was kind of the only Ghostblade player really kind of straight out of Korea, kind of throwing people for a loop. I'll say that for sure. Kikyo-chan played Crusader and then gave up on that real fast and strictly just played Ranger. Lawsol, actually the only American representation, did phenomenal. I think for the situations that he got put up against, the lack of knowledge that he had, he did fairly well. I just think that it was a fun watch. I do think that people felt like we should have had a top 16. I'm pretty sure Guilty Gear might feel the same, but top 8 doesn't show the true representation of how strong many players are missing. But this was still a really good showcase of a lot of the top echelon with the specific characters that they play. Goichi's, of course, a side effect to this whole tournament that doesn't make sense to anyone and never will, because he's just Goichi. He just plays. He's like the the Japanese Sonic Fox. What can you say? You got to deal with another form of Sonic Fox, and vice versa. Wherever you go. So it's either Go One or it's Sonic Fox. Right?
That's definitely a good way to put it for sure. Let's see.
But yeah, no, it was a fun tournament to watch. It didn't take long, that's for sure. Even everything being 3 out of 5, it's like 2.5 hours. We were like ahead of time by like a half an hour.
Yeah, we were still like in the 30-minute countdown before we got the Guilty Gear.
There were 9 3-0s.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Yeah, that explains that. That can explain that.
I think people have to understand, like, this game can come off as really volatile, but this is pretty tame it's pretty tame for an 8-in game. But it's one of those games where if you make enough wrong reads or mistakes, just like any game, but in this game, if you make enough wrong reads, like 2, sometimes 1, you do die, right? It's not like Power Rangers where you get touched and you're gone instantly, right? So even with UMVC3, sometimes situations just don't allow for you to kill because of your team composition or even whether you have meter. In this game, you always have meter, technically. And it's very easy to lose sight that neutral is a really big part of the game. So yeah, no, it was really fun to watch, even though everybody was kind of getting like swiftly dealt with.
Body.
Yeah, it was weird. It's weird seeing some of the highest players. Only very few were going, to the very last round. But any who weren't, it was just kind of like, it's not like they're washed or bad. It's how the game works sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you're hot, sometimes you're not. It'd be like that. So with Goichi taking the championship, taking home, what is it, like $50K, right? Like $50,000 going back to Japan. Japan, unfortunately, is taking both the Guilty Gear Strive and DNF Duel, man. They took all money.
If you just show up, you make like $3,000. So
you do just show up, and they paid for you to show up, and they paid for you to show up. On top of that,
they paid for you to show up and paid for you to
get
just
money.
Play. Isn't that
the
what
dream?
We all want? Like
the dream.
It's funny. I'm gonna just sidetrack for like 2 seconds. It's kind of like what was going on with the whole like golf. I don't really watch golf like that, but I do hear about it, and I have watched some stuff on it. It's like the whole live thing. People have said, a lot of golfers said, do I want to play against 156 other people without knowing if that whole weekend, like, it's just like us. The first day is, can I qualify to make money, right? For the next day. They play for like 2 to 3 days, like 4 days, and it's like the first 2 days, do I qualify and make that cut to just start making some money, right? So, and that's at the low end of like maybe like 20, 30, 40 grand, right? So I can only imagine like for us is, but when they went to live, they're like, hey, we're getting paid just to show up, win or lose. So these guys kind of got the chance to show up and win and get paid, win or lose, right? But you obviously want to win.
I mean, yeah, of course you want to win. But also the benefit is most of these guys also, have won an event in order to qualify, right? Like it. So they were already making the dough regardless.
Let's not misconstrue. Some people there did not win an event to.
Some didn't, right? Some were still second, right?
Some seconded, or thirded and qualified.
And you know what? And in some of those majors, that is just as powerful. Let's go! The Goichi pop off. Let's go!
Goichi's like, yeah. See, y'all suck.
You
because
see this?
I didn't even play this game for like 6 months.
Look at it. Oh, and he perfected. On the last one. I didn't get a chance to check that out.
I mean, check the beginning of the round. I want you to see the beginning of the round.
Oh, I saw the white health and just like, you don't get to play, son.
I'm gonna say this.
Uno grab. Dos grab.
I'm gonna say this for the record. Most people don't understand, but the stuff that Goichi was doing this weekend, it's not like hardcore new stuff. It's stuff that we've known. But Goichi's like abusing the hell out of the fact that there's a situation that Crusader sets up that with his we call it the disco ball. That literally once it happens, you get guard broken. There's no option out of it. And if you try to guard cancel out of it, you still get hit by it. So he still gets the combo.
That's what I want.
Yeah, this character's a little overtuned right now.
That's what I want. I want that pop off. I want that fucking energy. That's what I'm talking
Still with
about.
Cyclops too.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
I don't think he's ever leaving. They're never getting rid of him.
They should.
They're never letting him go.
My man is just representing, man, representing hard. All right, so
Look,
what you got? What you got?
I was just gonna say, I'm just surprised. Like, don't be surprised if you see like Sonic Fox leave EG and end up on Cyclops, and they're like, "Oh, we got the two best now. What are you gonna do?"
Maybe we'll see.
What are you talking about?
EG's
They have
never getting him
Fenrich
up, bro.
and and Dogura. They're fine.
Bro. Bring over the Kill Stage and also Sonic Fox. You're talking about a new age era of what
New Echo.
Yeah, pretty much. Just hopefully without the bash.
All right, so with that, post, hey, tournament's all nice, it's whatever. You know what we're here for? We're here for goddamn announcements. And we finally got some water in the desert that has been a DNF duel about, I think, Static, you said like almost a year later since the announcement,
No.
I think?
9 months.
No, the announcement was
9
in
months.
December.
Oh, okay.
I was saying
Well, no.
the first trailer.
The
was
very
a
first
year.
trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost took a year for that next trailer to come out. Excuse me.
Yeah. So we finally got to see the equivalent to biking in this game, Spectre, with a little bit of a cool animation in the beginning and some gameplay. I say some because this wasn't like a full-on release trailer. This is all, as we see in the bottom left there, under development, but it's something. So this being your main in DFO, you kind of have a history with this character. Like
this is like everybody's main in DFO.
everybody.
This is their true poster child of the game. When she got released, and this is later in seasons. When she got released, this actually was a resurgence of DNF coming back to America. The female Slayer class got released, but then about, I would say, a year and a half later, Spectre got released. And that changed the scope because everyone loves Spectre. Doesn't matter if you had a favorite character, this became your favorite character. She's like the Ryu of the game, but
yeah,
broken.
I like mommy. I mean Spectre.
Let's
So
put it,
what are you feeling?
for you?
What are you feeling on the character?
Okay. Well, I love the design. I mean, I think they did it right. We actually, as a community, when I was actually playing last night, regular DFO, and we went over it. A lot of her moves are insanely scary in this game because it fills the screen. Even in the regular game, the original, it somewhat fills the screen, but it's not like huge where you can't like avoid it. In this game, you can't avoid it. Like, it's huge. And a lot of the stuff that we see she's doing in this game, she kind of do in the old one. I mean, with some,
Nuances, yeah.
Yeah, we can't give her everything. I think she would be too scary. But I'd imagine they're going to try to give her as many moves as they can from the game.
She just feels like a much more mobile, which emphasis on the mobile, is Ghostblade for me in terms of like those buttons,
Yes.
right? Those buttons are like very similar. I'm seeing the whole, hey, yo, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just change it. Make sure the teacher don't know. And they just added an extra, not a kunai. It's I forget what the sword is called. But it gives her an 8-way directional like movement that they haven't shown completely. We only got to see one direction. We only got to see it going to the right. But they've already stated in slideshows as they further elaborated on the character that 8-way mobility, incredible buttons and reach. She looks like she's just definitely tuned for what this game is. I would hope so, considering it's been in development for so long, right? It's been about a year since the first trailer.
Yeah.
And that's where we kind of got into the details, right? Under development, it kind of was to set the pace as to what we were to expect. We got the season pass roadmap that came through it, with her being the first piece of the puzzle when it comes to the DLC, but not the only piece, right? So right now it's announced for summer of 2023. So I'm assuming post Memorial Day, we're talking anywhere between June to August 31st, and around that time. It could be a little later. But she's not the only piece that's coming in, right? We got new awakening system and an additional system that they haven't elaborated on yet. Which just begs, for me, like before I go into the systems, let's go through the rest of the dates here. Which summer we get Spectre, fall we're getting a new character, winter we're getting a new character and a new stage, and kind of like one of the bigger pieces to continue on 2024 support, which I'm going to assume is going to go past, or going at least up to summer, if we're going to still go through the whole, like, spring new character, summer new character, right? Because now we have 5 characters on board for Season Pass 1 to still be completed. Yeah, new awakening system and an additional system just begs for me to, like, think, like, what are they trying to pivot really hard as to what the game is like? Because they've already changed up the system, right? That's already happened last December, where we got the big change in the systems and character balances and all that. Now adding a new awakening system and an additional system, like, was this game just not ready, or are they just really taking all this feedback and shifting?
No, there's no fucking feedback. Let's be real. I'm going to be pretty blunt and clear here. I think it's great that they're finally creating this season pass. I think they've hinted way too many characters that are possible that they're going to probably release in a specific order, which is cool. I mean, they have most of the design behind them already, so all they have to do is, like, copy paste the previous and then just add new stuff, which I think is great, right? They're building the basis for that. Has it been clear? No, there's been no communication with us. There's been no, like, they've taken surveys from us, but it doesn't really matter if the direction isn't being shown. So I think it's good that, like I said, I think it's good that they're trying to do all these new things. I did talk a lot with the community, and they said they felt like the new awakening system was a little too soon, because we feel like the characters should have just been fleshed out a little bit first, and another balance patch would be better instead of doing a new awakening system, which is going to overhaul the whole game again. Because if you already had 100 changes, why are you going to change again?
Which on top of that, I'm assuming, because I don't remember if they said it during the slideshow. I'm assuming there's going to be a balance patch when she comes out.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's all going to be together.
Did they state it? Okay.
They're not going to have a choice either way because of the way this new system's going to work.
Yeah. So exactly.
I think they had this plan prior. I would say around the same time they were working on the previous balance patch, because if you realistically think about it, everyone got extra awakening skills during their awakening. So I would imagine now moving forward, they were like, okay, we want to do it more like the original game, where you have clear cubes, and then you have moves that are, like, more costly as clear cubes. So and the game has, like, gold cubes and stuff like that too, and other cubes, but those are primarily for speccing into other stuff and doing other crazy stuff with it. I think with this, they're trying to use the system from DFO to kind of make something a little elaborate, which I do like the concept, but they do have to balance it, because the way the game is right now, letting somebody get awakening, well, particular characters awakening at 50% is just way too damn strong. Like, we're talking about people getting deleted now. You're gonna see people get deleted, like, when hitting
just gone off the character select screen. It becomes a, okay, maybe I don't get touched, to, like, I got hit, okay, start, go to character select, hit it with the classic.
I put it like this. In Tekken, they have Rage Art and Rage Drive. Would you want to see somebody get that at 50%? No. So, that's gonna be I mean, it changes the dynamic of the game, but I mean, if you could kill off of it, that's bad. So
two-touch game, you mean? Yeah. I didn't block next round.
I don't know. Tekken should never be like that. But
we'll game see.
has those elements, so I can kind of see it happening.
Okay, so it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I know there's been a lot of discussion, and I get it. The game it is taking quite some time for this game to get the support that you guys have been wanting for a while now, right? Like about a year and a year and a half almost,
about roughly
about a year and a half, right?
July.
Like, so summer. Okay, so it's gonna be about a year for what's it called, DLC to drop. While as if we look on the other side of, like, other games that are getting supported by even same company like Arxis, but that's like their internal IP. It's a little different. Like, I want to make it very clear, the DNF duel is almost in the equivalent realm as, like, Marvel has been when it comes to, I think, development, because what is it? Nexon, right? Nexon owns the DFO, is the IP holder. Yeah. Aiding is the developer. Arxis is the publisher, right?
No, like, so I don't know anymore, because they had the Nexon publisher there, and I'm like, who the hell is publishing the game? Technically, I would imagine it's Arxis, publishing the game.
That's what I'm assuming.
They also had Arxis development team there, so it's like,
Yeah,
Arc
so-
just has a hand in the development too.
So I just don't think they
It's like
have
a
as
mix-
heavy. Yeah, they don't. I don't think they have as heavy as a hand. So like this game, I think just deals with a lot of the bureaucracy that you have to deal with when it comes to IPs that are owned by these. Because this DFO is huge. Like I don't think people understand in China and like EMEA and stuff like that. Like
China,
it's
Japan,
it's
Korea.
it's huge. It's a huge IP, and it brings in good. I'm assuming revenue for them. It's been going on for so freaking long. So
Yeah.
and this game doesn't even exist in China right now. So like there's definitely some red tape that's going on behind the scenes to the levels of, like I said earlier, like Marvel. Like if for those that know about the development cycle when it came to even like post Marvel 2, because that was like kind of the line. Like Marvel 3 in itself was a miracle to be made because of, you know, some people own certain characters while certain companies own certain names. Like and it really, you need to have a consensus before you can really move forward with anything as far as, you know, what characters you're allowed into the DLC that's gonna be, you know, free to actually, you know, to develop for. So I think DNF is kind of in that, but the good thing about it is like once it gets past a lot of that initial red tape, like I think the process will be much easier. I did think this freshman year is just rough. That's it.
I guess it kind of bothers me because I look at Exceed and how they worked hand in hand with Arc System Works as well, and they didn't have a problem, right? You know, they were fleshing out characters like it was nothing, but then they also had more fleshed out, right? So that's why I'm kind of confused why this game was so rushed, considering, and I do know why personally, because when we got a lot of those new updates, it was like in time for DFO's year. So they were trying to push DFO. That's why they had a tournament. If you play in DFO, you can play in the DNF Duel tournament. So it's weird because they also did this weird banning towards Lost Warrior for the Nexon tournaments. But nothing's considered a Nexon tournament unless it's through Nexon. So Arc Revo is not a Nexon tournament. It's an Arc Revo tournament, which is so weird. So it's like, at this point in time, are we like, who's really managing what? Are we going to start seeing a weird divide through the community? I don't want to see that. So like a lot of the community is kind of working together to keep everything afloat and keep like new players who are coming in because of this update to kind of get into the game more and talk and just
that's the best thing you can do, man. If you like the game, you got passion for the game, yo, just play the game, keep in the lane, support the TOs, support the homies, support the streamers, support the content creators. Keep it going. That's the best advice I can give you. The DLC will come. Just be patient. Yeah, exactly.
Under Night got the shaft on everything, but they were always at Evo.
Yeah,
you know, they always got an opportunity. So I mean, well, they weren't always, but they got that opportunity. Towards like the tail end of things.
There's no reason why DNF Duel cannot do the same. So so if you're gonna take anything away from the rant, yo, just keep on it. Like keep supporting. It'll get there. All right. Just if you have love for the game, you got passion, just keep playing it. All right. Fuck whoever is there. Like if it's just you and 12 other people, then you are gonna be the 12 hardest motherfuckers in the game.
Hey,
so.
at least this won't be that hard to get into Arc Revo.
Right. Exactly. Already in there. Look at me, my top 8 after one match. I'm godlike. All right. So with that, we've got another piece. Obviously, Arc World Tour did have DNF Duel, but it also had the Strive, Guilty Gear Strive. Guilty Gear Strive went down. We had our top 8. With you know, spoilers, you know, if you haven't watched it. Soul protagonist taking the dub with Mochi, or Mochi taking the dub with Soul.
Didn't think he would.
Yeah, top 3.
There were times
two Souls in top 3 with Chip, with TY, and dude, TY. I want to give TY the medal for being, I think, the MVP of the tournament. Like that, bro. Played his heart out. I don't know who else. I don't know what you got. That's just mine. Like Static. Who are you?
I feel like you should have won.
Listen, well, look, I agree because the whiff punishes
disgusting.
Off of Gobo was it Gobo or the Zando?
It was Zando. And Ramathal. Yeah. To whiff punish Ram the way. Yeah.
Like yes, deserved to be in winners side of winners finals and grand finals. However, Mochi, the run that Mochi had coming back up,
also true.
Being down 3-2 to Umisho, right? Being down 3-2 to Umisho, and I believe 3-2 to Nubenhammer.
Just
I don't
barely.
remember exactly. I think he lost to also Nubenhammer in winners, but still, the amount of the play against Tempest
That DP was still that DP.
That was probably his best stuff.
Will live in the nightmares for quite some time. How do you super? How do you super? And then you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna Tiger Knee DP. Like no meter. Like literally, I'm betting my life savings. I'm betting everything on this DP, and it fucking hits. And then we get a really bad burst, and then he takes it back. That was and that was all within the span of like 5 seconds. All that went down.
Nobody can react that fast, but let me stop. I'm not going to talk about the hitbox.
Oh, the hitbox. Oh, my God. The cheat
box.
No,
I'm kidding. I mean, granted, we were all wondering, like, what controller was he using? And then we're like, oh, snap. He's using a snack box, I believe. So then I'm like,
we thought he was playing in my head.
Yeah, we thought so, too. But in my head, I was like, man, imagine. I mean, I haven't been using hitbox at all yet. But, I mean, he was getting clean DPs whenever he needed them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his execution was there. But I'm wondering, is that the future, you know? But that's not the topic right now.
No, the topic is just overall how it went. Like, I mean,
yeah.
2 souls in top 3, a Geo and Chip. And the current Evo champ, you know, actually going out at tying, I think, to the last place in 7th, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Umisho and Gobu coming out last, which, you know, I give props to Gobu to continue on with the Go Lewis. I know there was some Zato picks there, but where it could work, he definitely went with it. But good Lord, like I don't. Sorry. That was disgusting. Who does that? Good. Who the fuck?
No one.
No one. Who goes and like, yo, I'm down. This is my last hit. I'm just gonna. And excuse me, he does have meter. No, he doesn't. He didn't. He used meter before. You just like knock down Leo. You not like. I want you to really process this. You knock down Leo. Literally the flash kick I'ma wake up God character with full bar it's not even 50 and you got burst locked and locked. Like this dude cannot have a fatter arsenal.
Here's the issue.
And you run up. Hold on. And you run up after a knockdown and you just say, I'm just gonna Tiger Knee DP in your fucking face. I don't care what you do. Literally, Tempest, all Tempest had to do was nothing. Tempest literally just had to, and this is no shot at Tempest though. Tempest was a fucking incredible player.
I mean,
Tempest, like I just do not want to make it sound like I'm hating on Tempest. Tempest played the heart out and did incredible, and I'm super proud of what he did for NA.
And one combo breaker.
Exactly.
So it's not like he doesn't deserve it. He deserves to be here.
This was play of the tourney. Like, how do you just bet the farm? And he's like, yeah, if this counter hits, like he didn't get anything at first. He didn't even have meter. So he then woke up and got hit. And in that
he woke up super
crazy instance of like processing what the fuck just happened, he got hit. Unfortunately, a panic burst came out and Mochi was able to capitalize on it. It didn't sting as bad because he still had a round to lose and he still technically had a match to lose anyway. But that right there that is what set the precedence there. That was fucking insane.
I normally don't like watching Guilty Gear a lot, but I would say that was the single-handedly hypest moment. I will say that and TY when we first saw him just whiff punishing everything, and we're like, okay, there's no way he's gonna be able to do the same thing if he switches to Chip. Dude, his Chip was just as good.
It was just.
I was like, just play Chip for the rest of the tournament.
Just got a DP now. That was the difference there. Oh my goodness.
The other, I mean, obviously the Tempest versus Omisho match was phenomenal. That's where we all screamed. I mean, maybe one.
Somebody screamed. I don't know. Somebody screamed bloody murder. But yeah, it was still incredible. Dust made it like the Dust stock was up there. Like I think it won 4 to 5. I think almost maybe 6 rounds in the entire tournament. I'm talking about just Dust, like the overhead Dust. Like, you just got to block high. That won so many rounds for players and sometimes matches too. It was kind of insane. So yeah, it was an incredible top 8. If you hadn't watched it, I suggest you go watch it. It was just wild. I was super happy to see it. I'm glad that people's tier list just got destroyed because Happy Chaos was at the bottom. Once again, no slight to the players. I'm just going off of the results, right? Umisho was tied out at 8, so Happy Chaos HC, the expected winner, right, or the expected winning character in everyone's tier list was did not make it. Soul, the protagonist,
Champion.
and the evil champion to boot. Soul ended up taking it in 2 different places alongside of Giovanna and Chip. Nobody was expecting that, so just take all those tier lists and just toss them bitches.
You gotta say, before you guys go forward, like Skill was probably one of the more impressive players there.
Oh yeah, Skill was also disgusting.
I thought I've watched Skill before, and I was like, man, I'm definitely looking out for Skill. And he played completely different than Mochi. Mochi was like kind of like this calculated, and Skill's like, oh hell no, man, I'm just going in. I'm gonna hit every button possible.
Yo, Skill did not give a fuck. Like, wake up. Oh yeah, I will DP. He's like, oh, you DP me one Skill? That's cool. It's like, I'll do it again. Like straight up goofy. Like, I'll fucking do it again.
That was the goofiest Soul versus Soul match, though, for how many DPs they were just throwing out there. It was just who was better at it.
Yeah. It's right. The mirror match was nuts. Like, Soul definitely, is don't count out the pro tag, especially in this version, man. It was all about Soul.
Oh, was it Ty or was it TY or was it Mochi who was doing all the IDs? The IVs, the instant blocking
Mochi. I think it was Mochi. Yes.
Bro, oh my god.
Yeah.
So many in one game.
Skill regardless too. Like, it's just at that level, it was insane to see. Oh god, the fake out super. This fake out super burst bait. That was.
You mean the instant blocking?
IB.
Yeah, the instant blocking.
Oh, I thought I heard him say ID.
No, IBs.
No,
Insta blocks.
I almost said ID.
The instant block game, which is just, it's not easy to do, but man, you can see why these guys are up there, because they are doing it in those situations that are just like absolute value to them, an incredible return that you just would, you just got to practice that, and it just changes the situation, lets them play a completely different game than what we normally do or what the average player does. It was just an incredible masterclass at it. Whiff punishes everything. I can go on for days, but it was an awesome top 8. I loved streaming it. I loved hanging out with you guys while we were watching it. It was a great time. And to boot it all off, man, just to finish it all off, we ended up with some announcement, right? We got a trailer for a character that we already knew was delayed. That was nothing new, but we actually got to see the character this time. It's been hinted at, it's been data mined, but it was no confirmation. But it's not Delilah, it's Bedman. That's like, you can't even say Delilah's fighting because she's not fighting. It's Bedman, or rather the bed from Bedman, the thing I need to go to more often at night. Just go to bed. But yeah, Bedman. So we got to finally see what Bedman has come to do. This is I don't want to say it's a puppet character, because like Delilah doesn't do anything. It's it reminds me more of, what is that character from Darkstalkers?
Donovan.
Oh my, no, Donovan's one, but it's the other one that with the robot, golden robot. It's
the Frankenstein one.
No, it's gold. Oh my god, why am I blanking on the name? It's Darkstalkers. What's it called? Oh my god.
Shenko has a little paper.
Huntsy. Y'all know who I'm talking about. This guy.
New to me.
This guy.
Oh, I don't ever see anybody play him.
It looks like Clay Doll.
I never see anybody play him.
Well, this character. Oh, as soon as I find some footage of him, this character does have it's like a human character that follows him around whenever he plays. He's like, I think he's like Pyron's like robots and such. Like, it's Pyron's Legion is made out of these robots. Oh god, I can't actually find a
good luck finding a match with him.
Yeah, holy crap!
I don't think anybody plays that character.
But regardless, what I'm saying is, like, it just reminded me of that, because you actually get to you don't use the human doesn't interact in any way, shape, or form. It's all about the robot, and this is very much there. For those coming from.
Sad. I was hoping it kind of seemed cool. Like, I was thinking like a whole like Carl and Raelius type deal.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's fine still either way.
Okay, I'm tripping because I thought that was a joke. I've been seeing this all day. I actually didn't notice it in the trailer, and I was seeing it on my feeds. I didn't know her face changed at the end. Mm-hmm. The way that it did.
When we first saw it, I said, "Oh, that's cool."
That threw me off. I thought that was like I thought someone imposed May's face on that. I didn't notice that. That's real. That's what she looks like. Holy Lord, that's hilarious.
I even said, if you watch the reaction back, you see me say, "Oh, well, that's cool."
I did not know. I mean, I was watching a lot of other things. I thought you were talking about any of the other cool things. So we got some normals. We got to see some actual air dashes or some command dashes from the air that isn't your typical air dash that we've seen before. But we're missing a lot of the other pieces, right? Like the biggest thing that Strive has done when it comes to DLC is that they tend to, not even just DLC, just all characters. They've been toned down a bit. Like their uniqueness is a little different in this game. So it's not confirmed yet, but we've only got to see a couple little specials, that air dash, but there's been no deja vu, mechanic where you're reverting back to what you were doing before, or, the commands to actually revert back, forward, or save state, basically. Broken. I think it's
broken in the system.
Yeah,
it doesn't work anymore.
That's probably how they're going to try to explain that, because other than that, there's no reason why it wouldn't happen. But we also didn't get any kind of ground parries or anything. There was also that, and there was also a mechanic Bedman had. But we had to see some projectiles, some interesting projectiles, and seems like some interesting particle effects, maybe symbolizing certain states, such as like a charge state or something like that. We got to see Kai try to fireball war, and it looks like he was winning, but we really, and then the bomb as well was the other thing, but we're not seeing a whole lot of other things.
Hard to block, because you can't really tell. It's like kind of reminds me of like Tink from BB Tag. You don't really know if they're hitting low or high, but this is a lot more animations. Tink had like no animation for like hitting high. This looks really cool. I think this is going to be a really interesting, maybe it'll make Guilty Gear look even more appealing, because it's something so awkward like they usually do. Right, it's outside of the normal realm, and I think that's what kind of always appealed to people.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. A new stage coming with it. Various forest factories where they make potions and such. But we will be actually getting Bedman on the 6th of April, right around the corner. It's about 2 weeks out, and then we have one more character for the season 2 pass slated for May. So we have back to back. With an additional stage, I believe that's what it's saying there. So we have back-to-back characters that we're going to be getting. And, of course, the final announcement that they put out there, which I don't know if they're saying it here. Actually, they didn't say it in here. But they did verbally say it on the mic. Two announcements. One is Season 3 is already in development, so we're expecting even more characters to come out. Whether Slayer doesn't show up, or it's not Dizzy, or Robo-Kai, or really Venom, anybody else, there's gonna be another season pass that we can all get our hopes up for, and then be dashed with when they don't show up. But the end of the trailer was the other piece. Actually, they didn't show it in this traditional trailer. Actually, I have to see if I can find that. The trailer did show another component, which we got to see a book, or I don't know what the book was called in the story. I know they said it in the story. I just can't remember. With a hand coming out of the darkness. If you recognize the hand, the glove in the book, you know that is Asuka, or that man from the story. Never been playable in a Guilty Gear game. This will be the first time. It was called out. I forget which one of our viewers. It was live with us on Twitch. Super stoked. Actually, I think it was Valentine. Yeah, I think it was like I can't remember the initial. I mean, it's like Arkea Valentine. There we go, on Twitch. Shout out to you, homie. Was already calling for Asuka, and got their wish.
It's the Tome of Origin.
The Tome of Origin. Thank you.
Totally messed up my mic. Tome of Origin.
Tome of Origin. Yeah, we got to see that kind of spin like a fidget spinner, and his hand was there, so we know more than likely that's the character. They were being vague about it, but I'm assuming they just didn't want to confirm anything. They're like, oh, can't tell you about it, but this is what we know. This is who we know. A little treat here for you guys. I'm stoked because the brother had insane kicks. His shoe game was on point, was better, I think, than anyone else's in the game. And I'm just stoked to see a kind of a magic wielder, which they could, I know, Mezza, you've been waiting to kind of get Dizzy in the game. There's no reason why, Batman or Asuka couldn't play similarly. A lot more range, throwing a lot of things out in the field, a lot more beams, magic, or dust to throw out to kind of just keep the pressure on without actually being a very physical character. Could inherently be that. So for you Dizzy mains out there, there's hope. Somewhat.
Something. Maybe.
Something. It's something. It's the closest thing you're getting. Listen, it's better than nothing. Sure. But overall, I think and Arc World Tour 2023 was announced too. So, the support is continuing. The game is thriving. You gotta just push as all I gotta say to Arcs is, yo, push as much shit as you can out there, because Street Fighter 6 is coming, and bro, it is going to be a slaughter. Not to say your game's gonna get, is gonna die, but bro, there's gonna be some bleeding, and that goes to everybody, really. That goes to everyone. Put your shit out now, because this tidal wave is coming, and then once it's out there, y'all gotta sit in the sidelines and just deal with it. But if you come out with some awesome, content, Strive, I don't think it's really gonna go anywhere. It's done. It's done its duty for those couple years now, and it doesn't seem like they want to slow up on it. So we'll see what goes down. AWT 2023 has been announced. Can't wait for that. And like I said, this year I think it was a great way to wrap it up. It was hype, incredible matches, some awesome releases, announcements, some communication, right, Mezza? That's what we wanted, some communication at least. Give us something. Give us more, but you know what? At least this is the start.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna complain about good content coming out. I always complain when there's no clarification on what the full plan is, and I think everybody's trying to get there. So I'm not gonna be mad about it anymore. It is what it is. Look, people keep playing their games, keep enjoying what you enjoy. That's all you can really do, right? And if not, just keep your community intact at least.
Exactly. Just play with the homies. Fuck them. Just play with the homies. All right, guys. So with that, we're going to be closing out the show in a second. But in the meantime, though, give us a quick break. We'll be right back after this, and we'll see you guys in a sec. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a wrap, man. AWT 2022 is in the books. We had some gameplay to look into, some new Cammy moves. Paul Phoenix haircut still kind of sus, but everything else about him looks good. And Spectre's in the horizon. We had a really good episode this week, but we're closing us out right now. We appreciate everyone here for hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap. You guys, of course, can follow us on all social media at Double Tap FGC. Come hit us up. We tweet out when we're live, when we have new videos coming out. Once again, on YouTube at Double Tap FGC. Go subscribe there. Get the notification bell on. Lets you know when we have some new stuff coming in. You guys can, of course, follow my awesome host here, StaticGorilla, at StaticGorilla on all social media platforms. He's going to be live on Twitch playing, of course, Marvel. He's going to be playing RE4. He's just going to be playing all kinds of things. Go follow. If that's right up your alley, that's the spot to be at. And, of course, we got Mezza, Street Fighter Duel, DFO, DNF, everything else under the sun at Mezza FGC, of course, on Twitter and Twitch. When he's on, of course, hey, everybody got a schedule, but go follow my awesome hosts. Go check them out. You can, of course, follow me at Crashtag VS on Twitter. And, of course, follow Mash Those Buttons at the Mash Network on Twitter as well. Let you get updates on all our shows when they go live as well. Maybe one day you're trying to listen to a fighting game podcast. Maybe you're also checking out some of you from our World of Warcraft cats out there, whether you're Horde or Alliance, don't matter. There's some love there with WoW Talk and the WoW Classic podcast, Warcraft Reloaded, excuse me. Then, of course, you got your Final Fantasy 14 cats over there with... oh my God! Why am I blanking? I'm blank. Final Fantasy 14 podcast. No, there's a specific name. I just can't remember it. Oh, I feel terrible. I'm gonna get yelled at for this later. Oh well.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Oh, Wondrous Tales. Got it. Bam.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't hate me. Don't hate me. All right. Yeah. Go. You got some love for them. Go check them out. And once again, guys, subscribing, following, it all helps a whole lot out. And also on your favorite podcast platform of choice, man. We go live on. We're everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, probably everything. Any kind of feedback is helpful. Ratings, all that stuff, super helpful. We take that stuff to heart. We're trying to improve things here on the show. All up to everyone that has done it, everyone that's left us some notes. We read it out here. When we take it on the chin, don't worry, you're gonna hurt our feelings much. Maybe me. I might cry afterwards. Who knows? But all love to everyone that's done it. It all helps support a whole lot. And yes, sharing the show helps a lot too. Liking, retweeting it as well when we go live on Twitch helps a whole lot out. Get it out there. Anyone that you might think might be interested in the show might be, hey, maybe they've seen Street Fighter 6, they're trying to get into it. Maybe they're coming back for Tekken. Maybe, they just love themselves some MK, like some DNF Duel, some Guilty Gear. This is the spot to be at. Share the show with them. It's much appreciated. Maybe they'll enjoy getting up the news from us. But all love to everyone out there that's been listening. Once again, stand by after the show to hear about our other shows here on the MTV Network. We'll be live next week, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Once again, all the awesome news. Like I said, we'll have an awesome guest with Darth Arma next week. We'll be talking some MK and some multiverses. You might want to stay in for that. But we'll see you guys, of course, next week. Later.
Yes.
Welcome to Killer Instinct. I body squads, I body songs. Walk on steaming coals and use my pinky toes for fire tongs. The savage is probably wrong, but I belong. Rappers can't give me work, they like Tommy Strong. A rage killing is way fitting. I don't mean chrome rims when I mention I keep the blade spinning. My instincts engaged, I'm enraged. Make a musical instrument from your rib cage. 20-year veteran in the game, you can't spell raw.